the National Football League, presented by EA Sports. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? A short kick taken at the 18. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So 4, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On play action, Lock. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now Locke going to run a little touch pass here to his wideout. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And they worked this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Well, partner, this drive has been a model of efficiency. They've done everything they've wanted to, and the defensive guys, they've got to be getting frustrated. They can't figure out how to get off the field.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Mostert. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive lineman still, to this day.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Davion Taylor. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Prescott now from the 50. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. A big play that time for the Titans.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw is Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Prescott now. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Play action now. Prescott. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. 5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them, and number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Locke going to try and throw on third down. Eluding the pressure right. He finds Smith out of the backfield. And he is going to have the rate as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, going on the run, and picking up a first down.
A carry there for Mostert as he's able to work his way forward for a pretty good pickup on first down. Officially a gain of 5. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 33. Play action. Now it's Locke. But he's got his target, Harris. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Locke now on third and goal. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. Touchdown! Raheem Mostert, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Off the play fake, Prescott on the move to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run, deep left side. And this one is incomplete.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
That's caught by Marquez Callaway. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Block off of play action. Sliding out of the pocket. Deep ball for Goodwin. He's got a man. Complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there just before halftime. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Second and goal at the 2-yard line.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Drew Lock as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by McCann, up and good, and it's now 21-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A give. This is Chubb. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him, and once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete there to Berrios. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play there on the catch and run.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
A run for Nick Chubb as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
First down. First and 10.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Mike Evans, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the 3rd quarter. They fake the handoff, now Locke. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. A big play there for the Raiders.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. For Drew Lock coming out of Missouri, the one thing that scouts they loved was his arm strength, and we see why there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. To Evans on the slant. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Davion Taylor picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. On play action, Locke. Flushed out right. Staying on his feet. Now he'll let it go deep left side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of his end zone, Prescott over the middle to Evans. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now on 2nd and 13, Prescott. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Prescott to throw it. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Evans has got the first down and then some. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Prescott now. That's complete to Robinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line.
That's another Titans first down. First and 10 at the 25.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And his throw is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Prescott. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And this 30 will be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
One last shot now for Prescott. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating, even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground, but both really started to come in sync. So for Las Vegas, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to